What's up, guys? How you doing? Just thought I'd give my 2 cents on this big giant movie that came out with a $400 million budget, and Tom Cruise is breaking into Skynet this time, or rather going up against him. Either way, still, I hope everyone is doing well. And we just got back from Dead Reckoning, and I can honestly say it's exactly what you guys are expecting. It is Tom Cruise versus Skynet in every facet that I mean. Fact remains, we now live in a time where AI is no longer used as a simple MacGuffin, but rather primary antagonists in films. It really shows you how far we've come from knock lists and biological materials and mildly retconned MacGuffins from the third film. That's an in joke. If you've seen it, then you know. If you haven't, go and see it. These films have been of mixed quality. The first one was great for the most part. The second one was a coke binge. The third one was good, but a little generic. Fourth one, a proper return to form. The fifth one, a improvement on the form. And then the sixth one, Fallout, my personal favorite. And pretty much most people agree that it's probably the best one of the bunch. The seventh one, massive dip in quality. Not nearly as good as the last one. But then this one comes out. And because this is kind of a Kill Bill-ish thing where it's like you can see Rogue Nation and Fallout as kind of their own films. You don't have to see both of them, but seeing both of them kind of add to the other. Like one is greater because it goes into another, or one is greater because it had a film preceding it. With this one, the biggest problem with it is the fact of how we have a film now that you need to see both. And this thing is 6 hours almost by the time you get done with everything. And it doesn't need to be. It is not that complicated of a storyline. Like it is, but it's not. There's a difference between deep and complicated. Trying to connect to everything in the past that it kind of forgets to be its own awesome film. It is awesome when it's just being itself, when it's trying to be something new and it's trying to distance itself from its predecessors and trying to tie up all these loose ends. It's good. With a film like this, you really need to make sure that you're focusing on the characters that we are already invested in. These are finalities, these are final outcome films. They are supposed to be a culmination of everything that came before. We can't spend half the time with characters that we are not either invested in or we give a toss about. I'm still irked that they killed Rebecca Ferguson, who I really liked because she was kind of cool. She was a badass. She didn't need to constantly shove it in your face. She just was a cool character. She was like a more shady version of Ethan. But the thing is, the villain still sucks. Sorry, but he does. I don't know if it's miscasting or just they don't know what to do with him. But Owen Davian or Philip Seymour Hoffman, I pulled his name out of the hat because I remember his character. And we did all 7 of these before we went seeing this one over the course of the last 2 weeks. The thing is, if a villain is not memorable or even intimidating, there's no threat. And if there's no characters that we care about, then there's no stakes. You can have the universe blow up, and it doesn't matter. And Fallout was a perfect example of a big story that was told in detail. It was complex. It used some of the cliches that came before it within the genre itself, and it didn't putz around too much. It was forward thinking and it was going. With this, it's complicated. It's the most complicated one of any of these. But it's like you're basically solving a really easy puzzle that has like 6 pieces. That's the problem. Someone needs to make like a phantom edit of this, like what they did with the prequels. Take the best parts and the things that make this film good and put it all together in like a single 3.5 hour long film because there is a lot here that's good. You know, the train from the last one, the jump of the bike, the sub. I can't really spoil too much. But there is more good than bad here for sure. You know, the acting is good. Everyone's on point. You know, some characters have better outcomes than others. No spoilers, as I said. Like even Ghost Protocol, despite its simplicity, is still a damn good movie. A fantastic film, simple as hell. But in that simplicity, they replaced complicated stories that are not very fun to watch with a film that's more simple but very, very entertaining. I love Ghost Protocol. It's probably my favorite one that I've watched the most out of all of these, although Fallout has replaced it as the best one in my book. Though, where this one falls on the scale, I would say this one falls below most of them. It's better than the seventh, if you consider these two different films. It's definitely better than the second one, because the second one is awful. And it's slightly better than the third, just because the third one, I think, suffers from kind of lacking that mission impossibleness, I guess. I don't really know. Plus, I got a hate thing on J.J. Abrams ever since Star Trek, Star Wars. Villain sucks. Plot's a little predictable, but you know what? It is complicated, and there is a lot here that's enjoyable. It's like, I hate seeing those people that say turn your brain off, because it's kind of like the people who made this didn't turn their brain off. They actually had to do a lot to make this movie. So I don't do them the disservice of ignoring the strengths of a film. Go and see it because it's the end of an era. Unlike Bond, we'll just have another Bond, even though they technically killed him. Spoilers at the end of the last one. But with this one, there is only one Ethan Hunt. Tom Cruise has made sure of that there will always only be one Ethan Hunt. So I would give it 7 Tom Cruises out of 10, which is better than the last one, which I only gave 5 Tom Cruises out of 10, which is an average score. So until I get an official rating scale, roll with that. So yeah, go see it. Go roll out with Tom Cruise one last time. You know, he's a crazy dude. I mean, in more ways than one, but that biplane, that is well worth the time. And maybe you guys will enjoy it more than I do. But think about it and go and see it if you feel like my words were convincing enough. If you guys like to see this and this stuff, you guys want to leave any comments and such about what you guys thought about it, let me know down below, okay? Anyway, guys, I've talked about this enough. I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care.